Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another installment of the Weekly Wednesday Rambling. So, the first thing you may be asking yourself, something new in this frame. Oh, what could it be? It couldn't possibly be the new decoration I have on my wall. Oh no, not at all. Not the big fish thing that's hanging over my closet. Joking aside, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you didn't pick that up from my little sarcastic rant there, you should probably get help. But regardless, yes, I have a new decoration in my room. I got it from someone in my Tai Chi class on Tuesday. Yesterday. Yeah, so that's yesterday. Tuesday morning. She had a bunch of these different little tapestry-looking things, and she was just giving them to people. And she gave me the fish one, and I didn't have any room to put it on my wall, so I just decided, you know what? Let's just put it above my closet, so I have it taped up there. So now, every time I try to get something out of my closet, it is technically under the sea. You know who that was for. I took your joke. Deal with it. So yeah, my week's been okay. Not much terribly exciting has happened. Of course, last Thursday, day after I did my last vlog, was Halloween. I really didn't do much, because it's a Thursday. You're not going to do that much for Halloween. Plus, it's kind of super sketch to be, like, going out and doing things in Berkeley on Halloween. Or, most of the time, it's kind of super sketch to be going out around Berkeley doing things. Which we illustrated, me and a group of friends on the floor, on Friday. So, Thursday, obviously, there's not going to be a ton of stuff going on, because it's Thursday and there's school on Friday. But on Friday, there was a lot of Halloween party going on sort of in the area around my dorm. Because if you're not aware, my dorm is fairly close to the area of Berkeley known as Frat Row. So basically, our night consisted of us all in one room looking out the window, watching drunk people try to walk around and get home. The number of sirens from paramedics and the fire department was just everywhere. So much noise from people being taken away to the hospital. It was kind of sad and mildly disturbing, but at the same time it was kind of entertaining. It's like, we've done a good thing. Some chaos in the hall right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it was quite fun just watching people in costume, not in costume. At one point in the we have a guest. Dude, I don't care. I can edit around things.
Okay, I'm leaving right now. I promise.
I mean, for all you know, I could splice parts of this in.
I know.
Anyway, after that little disturbance, so at a certain point on Friday, it was towards the end of our watching, we decided we were kind of done after this, but a fight broke out down the street. Like, we were in the laundry room just looking out the window, actually towards the quote-unquote frat row, and there's just a ton of people and shouting, and we start noticing punches being thrown, and the fight gradually starts moving down the street towards our dorm, and we're just, like, excitedly watching, because at one point they moved behind a building, and you could see people coming through, and then a police car showed up, and people started running. There was one guy whose costume fit the entire thing. I'm not entirely sure what he's supposed to be, but if he was something in particular, I know he was like a boxer, basically. He had boxing gloves and a robe, and funnily enough, he was not involved in the fight at all. He was just kind of standing there, even though he looked to be the most ready for a fight, which I thought was really funny and ironic. Let's see, after that was Friday. Saturday, didn't do much. Yesterday I did something really cool. I'm sort of like super excited to see where this is going, but I joined a group on campus. It's a game dev group where we had our first meeting on Monday night. It's just a club for making games, board games, video games, all sorts of stuff. And as sort of an icebreaker in the group, I think it's like there's about 20 of us, I'd say. And in the group, we broke up into groups of 4, and were given a stack of index cards and a bunch of colored pencils, and we were told to make a game, just out of those. It was supposed to be a demonstration of like, what can you come up with very limited resources. One group made like a maze where they just made a maze across a bunch of the index cards and then pulled the index cards apart. So yeah, it was like a jigsaw puzzle maze, and it was really funny to watch people doing that because they put the end and the start on edges. So you could technically just put the start edge right up against the end edge and call it good, but that sort of ruins the spirit of the maze. But it was funny. One group made basically a simulation of the prisoner's dilemma and called it a game, which was kind of funny because if you know the solution to the prisoner's dilemma, you win pretty much every time. If you're not aware of what the prisoner's dilemma is, basically it's a hypothetical situation in which you have two prisoners, and they're each separately, without knowing what the other has done, are given the offer to either rat out or stay silent about the guilt of the other person. And if they both rat each other out, they both get 2 years in prison or something like that. If one rats out the other, the person who rats out goes free and the other person gets 4 years or something like that. And then if they both stay silent, something happens. But it's like the risk reward calculations in that are really weird. And basically, it turns out it's like you can minimize your time spent in prison if you just rat the other guy out every time, even though it seems counterintuitive. Yeah, that was their game. We did basically a HP based rock paper scissors, where you have the option of attacking, countering, or defending. Attacking if you successfully attack someone, they lose 2 HP. If you defend, you lose 1 HP. Just sort of balancing here. And you don't take any damage from any attacks, which is what you'd expect from defending. And countering, you also lose 1 HP from stamina, whatever, for balancing. And then you take any damage that they deal to you, but in return, you deal 5 to the person who attacked you. So we played a little bit of it. I got beat handily because I got countered more times than I liked. And then the group that was pretty much the people in charge of the club, and they made basically a airplane landing game where they made a bunch of targets on the ground that are different colors and different point values, and you'd throw little paper airplanes at them that were color coded, and you'd try to get as many points as possible. And I tried to play it, and all their airplanes were pretty awful. Like, they didn't fly at all. I took the first one, just threw it, and it just landed like 2 feet in front of me. So yeah, that was a fun little occurrence. Let's see, is there anything else I can really talk about? It doesn't seem like it. So I'm going to go straight into the question of the week, which Caleb posed, and I just watched like 10 minutes ago, right before I started filming this. I watched Caleb's because I was like, I want to get what the question is, because if I don't have the question, I can't answer it. So, what would make a really bad video game? Which is a perfect segue from what I was just talking about with game design. Haha, I'm great at this. Anyway, what would make a really bad video game? Well, you've got sort of the pit of like bad games. It's like there's so many bad licensed games out there. Like Caleb mentioned, the Wramble game, and like there's good licensed games out there. Like I will still contest the Madagascar game for GameCube as a decent game. It's not really bad. It's okay. But a licensed game that I think would be really and truly awful. I sort of came up with this right before filming this, and I was just looking around my room, and I happened to have this just next to my desk, and I think a goldfish game would be god awful. I mean, what would you do? Like, it would be almost like Echo the Dolphin, but you're a goldfish, and goldfish aren't nearly as cool as psychic dolphins that save the world. And there'd be a lot of cheese. This is empty, but it still smells like cheese, which is starting to make me hungry. I'm going to go get dinner at some point. But either way, a goldfish game would just be really bad. Unless the game actually just involved just straight up eating goldfish. And it was like, came out far enough in the future that it would actually give you goldfish. So you could just play the game and have goldfish to eat. I would buy that. That'd be a lot of fun to play. But anyway, Caleb mentioned in his vlog that I am coming back this weekend for a brief period of time. I'm actually coming back Friday, then leaving on Saturday to go see the West Band perform in Long Beach. And then coming back Sunday, I think? I'm not really sure when I'm coming back. I don't have exact plans, but I'm going to be here on Friday and Monday. That's Monday until I come back at around whenever the train leaves. in case you haven't noticed, my plans aren't that solidified. But yeah, that's all from me. I will talk to you guys next week, except for those of you who I will see this weekend. See you later.